Well, I cannot agree more. The DeepSeek model is definitely one of the leading open source models. That's definitely that China is winning, at least on the open source front. I would love to hear from you. What do you think the US should do to move faster? And should we be doing even more open source or closed source? What is your perspective on that?
So we're in a very strange conundrum. All of us, and in particular me, grew up in the open source movement. Open source, for the viewer's background, is where the software and the data are released so that everybody can use it. And it doesn't make any sense that you would invent something and give it away. But in fact, by inventing something and giving it away in traditional markets, the really smart people want to come work with you and you stay ahead using this novel technique of giving your competitors your information. I know it sounds weird, but it works really, really well. Google can be understood as an open source company in the sense that much of the underlying technology at Google was based on open source, although there's proprietary components. Apple is the inverse. Apple is essentially a closed source company, famously because Steve, that's the way he wanted it. I talked to him a lot about this, but it has open source components which it licenses or gives away for a reason. So there's variations in the models. So in the case of AI, the current leading models, the top ones are all closed, which means you don't understand what they're doing. You have API access, or you can ask them an English question or what have you. Their meta is what is called closed source open weights. So they release the weights, which is good for the ecosystem. And but it also allows people like China to use those models. It's very hard to use the leading models. So that's sort of the tension that's been set up. If you look, we need more open source innovation in the universities because that's where the original ideas come from. So even if you accept that the top companies will be proprietary, and by the way, that's largely because of money. These models cost 100 to $200 million. You're going to spend $200 million on a model and then give it away? Are you an idiot? And so getting through that, even they would agree that you need more open source innovation in the universities for the new things. I mentioned reinforcement learning. I'm familiar with a new effort at one university that has a different way of doing foundation models using a different kind of math. This is welcome competition. The more open source initiatives we can get globally, there's lots of smart people and the stakes are huge. Why don't we try that? So we need to help them. And the issue is going to be proliferation. I'll explain the technical problem. We estimate roughly 10 to the 26, that's one with 26 zeros behind it, floating point operations, which is a measure of computation, is the point at which the models can develop essentially dangerous knowledge. When they're small, they don't really know very much. But as they get deeper and deeper into a subject, they appear to be able to know things that are maybe bad. The most obvious ones are bombs and bad viruses and things like this. And so coming up with a way of policing the open source models, which remember, you're giving the source code away, while keeping us safe what we call a wicked hard problem. We don't have a good solution for that yet. We're working on it.
Were you surprised